A house full of secrets. Have you ever wondered what might be hiding in the nooks and crannies of your home? Nadia, a little girl with a big imagination, often asked herself this question. She lived with her mother in an old, large house full of corners and secrets. But it wasn't always easy. Nadia often felt misunderstood by her mother, who had hearing problems despite wearing a cochlear implant. This sometimes led Nadia to feel angry and frustrated. Discovering the mysterious key. One day, while playing in her room, Nadia found an old, dusty key. It was large and looked very mysterious. "I wonder what this key might fit," thought Nadia. She decided to search for a lock that the key would fit. She took it and began to explore the house. Nadia found a lock on the door to an old, forgotten room in the attic. As soon as she turned the key, the door opened with a soft creak. Inside was a room full of mirrors. Each mirror reflected a different image, as if showing various stories. Nadia stood in front of one of the mirrors and saw herself and her mother trying to communicate. In the mirror, Nadia's mother was watching her lips carefully, trying to understand every word. Nadia noticed that in the mirror, her mother was very focused and trying her best to understand her daughter. The Book of Conversations. In another corner of the house, Nadia found an old book. It was the Book of Conversations. When she opened it, she saw different scenes from the lives of people who had difficulties communicating, but always found a way to understand each other. One story was about a boy who learned sign language to communicate with his deaf grandmother. Another story was about a girl who drew pictures to show how she felt. Nadia began to think that maybe she and her mother could also find a way to communicate better. Perhaps they could draw pictures together or find other ways to express their thoughts. The Chamber of Feelings. The next room, Nadia discovered, was full of colorful balloons. Each balloon had different feelings written on it: joy, sadness, anger, fear. Nadia realized that feelings are important and need to be expressed. Nadia took a balloon with the word anger and hugged it. She thought of all the times she was angry because she felt misunderstood. Then she took a balloon with the word joy and thought of all the happy moments with her mother. She understood that her mother also had feelings and that sometimes things could be difficult for her, just as they were for Nadia. Shared discovery of secrets. Nadia decided to share her discoveries with her mother. Together, they returned to the room of mirrors. Nadia's mother was surprised but also very interested. Together they looked at the images in the mirror and talked about their feelings. Next, they opened the Book of Conversations and started thinking about what other communication methods could help them. Nadia's mother explained that she didn't know sign language but had learned to speak with the help of a speech therapist. It was a long and difficult journey for her, but it allowed her to talk with Nadia. The secret of a happy home. The last secret they discovered was the secret of a happy home. It turned out that the key to happiness lies in understanding and accepting each other. Nadia and her mother realized that they could communicate better if they were patient and open to new ways of communication. Nadia's mother didn't always understand everything, but the most important thing was that Nadia accepted her just as she was. From that day on, Nadia and her mother began to understand each other better. They had their secret signs and drawings that helped them express their feelings. Nadia no longer got angry as often because she knew her mother was really trying to understand her. And Nadia's mother felt closer to her daughter than ever before. In this way, the house full of secrets became a place where Nadia and her mother discovered the importance of mutual understanding and love. And although they still had their challenges, They knew they could overcome anything together. Remember, just like Nadia and her mother, there is always a way to understand each other better. Sometimes it just takes a bit of patience and openness to new ideas.